Beneath Jerusalem's crumbling hills, a silence 3,000 years old has finally broken. For centuries, whispers told of King Solomon's lost tomb, a vault of gold, wisdom, and secrets too powerful to share. Scholars dismissed it as legend, but a storm, a hidden tunnel, and a sealed chamber have changed everything. What was uncovered left experts stunned and believers shaken. In this video, we'll uncover the treasures, inscriptions, and mysteries inside Solomon's tomb, and why the greatest secret may still be waiting in the dark. For centuries, the name Solomon has carried with it an aura of awe, mystery, and fear. He was no ordinary king. The Bible portrays him as a man of staggering wisdom, with wealth that bent the imagination, and a kingdom that shone like a beacon in the ancient world. His reign in the 10th century BCE marked what many consider Israel's golden age. And yet, amid the grandeur of his temples, palaces, and vast trade empire, one question has haunted historians, explorers, and the devout alike. Where did this legendary king take his final rest? The scriptures themselves leave tantalizing clues but no clear directions. Solomon is remembered for building the first temple, a masterpiece of cedar beams from Lebanon, gold-plated walls and stones so finely cut that they seem to lock into place without mortar. If his temple could shine like a jewel above Jerusalem, surely his tomb would be no less extraordinary. Yet the texts are strangely silent about his burial. No sarcophagus has ever been unearthed, no monument marked with his name, no chamber unveiled with certainty. For a king whose shadow stretches across Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, his grave has remained elusive, as though deliberately erased from the landscape of time. Centuries of theories followed. Some claim the tomb lay under the Temple Mount, sealed by Solomon himself and guarded by divine wrath. Others believed he was interred in caves beneath the Judean hills, or along secret tunnels known only to ancient priests. Medieval knights dug beneath Jerusalem in search of sacred treasures. 19th century explorers scoured the city of David, guided by half-understood documents and fading legends. Again and again, they left empty-handed. Some legends described a tomb so laden with gold that its glare could blind intruders, protected by curses and traps designed to collapse tunnels on trespassers. Others suggested it held not only riches but also scrolls and tablets of ancient knowledge, geometry, medicine, even witchcraft. Yet time eroded all proof, and by the 20th century, most scholars dismissed the search as romantic folly. To them, Solomon was half history, half myth, with his grave reduced to poetry. Still, the tale would not die. Even today, worshippers at the Western Wall whisper that somewhere below lies the body of the wisest king. Archaeological discoveries, from copper mines in Timna to evidence of far-reaching trade routes linking Africa, India, and Arabia, have only deepened the mystery. If Solomon's kingdom was real, surely his tomb must be as well. Then, a sudden rainstorm on a Jerusalem hillside cracked the legend wide open. In the Silwan district, rugged limestone and scattered shrubs concealed what ground-penetrating radar revealed: straight lines and sharp corners beneath the earth. This wasn't nature's work. It was design. Dr. Emily Carter's team had uncovered a tunnel system, intricate, deliberate, and unlike Jerusalem's known cisterns or aqueducts. Some tunnels led nowhere, others looped back on themselves like a maze. These were not mistakes but decoys, crafted to protect whatever lay within. The deeper they explored, the clearer it became. The tunnels were engineered with paranoia, built to collapse at the slightest disturbance. Even more chilling were the carvings discovered near the entrance, Hebrew symbols repeating in sevens, echoing the 7 years it took to build the first temple. Despite the risks of collapse and the political sensitivity of excavating near such a charged site, the team pressed on. Security was tightened, for fear of looters or extremists. For weeks, they worked in silence until their tools uncovered a massive stone slab, sealed for millennia. Fitted so tightly into the tunnel that no seam showed, it was clearly more than a door, it was a defense system. Laser scans mapped every groove and hollow as though defusing a stone bomb. Finally, with pulleys and precision, the slab groaned open, releasing stale air that had not touched the outside world in 3,000 years. Beyond it stretched a vast chamber, its walls glittering faintly in the torchlight. What they saw left them speechless. Golden vessels lined the walls. A menorah stood tall, spices still clung to shattered jars, and silks whispered of trade stretching from Africa to India. Ivory lions and palm trees peeked through dust. The legend was no longer myth. The tomb was real, yet the treasures were only the beginning. Carved into the walls were strange symbols, spirals, ratios, and geometric patterns that resembled blueprints more than decoration. At the center stood a star, an early form of what would later be called the Star of David. To ancient legend, it was the seal of Solomon, said to command spirits and guard forbidden knowledge. Alongside it were precise mathematical ratios, astronomical alignments, and spirals that hinted at knowledge far ahead of its time. Clay tablets littered the chamber, some recording dimensions of the first temple, others speaking in riddles of hidden wisdom, and light locked until the star is turned. To some, this echoed the infamous Key of Solomon, long dismissed as medieval myth, now seemingly rooted in something far older. Most unsettling of all was a small golden chest, set into the wall as though guarding the chamber's memory. Carter described standing near it as trespassing in someone else's thoughts. The team cataloged it but left it sealed, fearful of destroying it, or unleashing something best left untouched. And then came the inscription that shook the world. On the eastern wall, faint Hebrew letters emerged under the dust. "May wisdom guide my hand as stars guide sailors." The style matched ancient Hebrew wisdom literature, the very voice attributed to Solomon in Proverbs. To Carter, it felt as though the king himself had spoken across millennia. Scholars erupted into debate, some calling it the first authentic trace of Solomon, others dismissing it as later propaganda. Yet for the world, it was enough to ignite a firestorm. Beneath that, another name appeared: Sheba. The Queen of Sheba, whose visit to Solomon is told in both the Bible and the Quran, now appeared in stone. The carving recorded a royal exchange of gold, ivory, and frankincense, confirming an alliance of trade and diplomacy. For believers, it was scripture made flesh. For skeptics, another debate over authenticity. But for the team in that chamber, it suggested Solomon's wisdom was not merely divine, but enriched by alliances and shared knowledge with kingdoms beyond Israel. In a hidden alcove, they found a golden ring, engraved with a six-pointed star. Tests dated it to the 10th century BCE. To some, this was Solomon's own seal ring, long said to hold power over spirits and mark his decrees. To others, it was simply a royal emblem shared across dynasties. Still, its discovery electrified the world. Alongside it, inscriptions referencing instruments, harps, lyres, and flutes, suggested Solomon's court preserved music from his father David, echoing temple worship through the ages. When one intern strummed a replica harp in the chamber, the sound reverberated like a ghostly echo of the past. Yet one mystery remained unsolved. For all the treasures, inscriptions, and symbols, Solomon's body was nowhere to be found. Scans hinted at deeper chambers beyond, but accessing them would require political negotiations and international cooperation. For now, the tomb's deepest secrets remain sealed. The discovery has left the world torn between awe and frustration. We may have touched Solomon's world, his treasures, his symbols, even perhaps his own seal, but the man himself remains elusive. The tomb confirms his reign, yet withholds his body, keeping the mystery alive. What do you think? Is this truly Solomon's tomb, or the greatest archaeological illusion of all time? Comment your thoughts below, like, subscribe, and watch our next video for more ancient mysteries waiting to be uncovered.